Hello, welcome into my workshop and welcome to the show Creations of Clay. My name is Louis Palladini, and tonight I want to do an animal that everyone is familiar with, and it's very cute. It's called a hedgehog, and I'm going to show you how to do that from start to finish. And they're a very cute little animal. I was reading up on the internet there, and they have certain quills and things. If they get scared, then they raise their quills on their back, and it makes them a little hard to handle at times, but a very cute little animal. I will show you the types of clay that we can use. There's an oil-based clay such as this, which never hardens, and this is the one that I used all the time as a kid. You just make different animals with it, and then when you get bored with it, you just make new ones, and that's what's great about that one. There's an air hardening clay, which can be bought in any art store. And this, what's great about this, it hardens like in a couple of hours or overnight, and then you can paint it and it'll be permanent. My preference for the clay is a clay called Super Sculpey, which can be baked in the regular home oven at 275 degrees for about 15 or 20 minutes. You can drill it, sand it, you can do a tremendous amount of detail, which is great. I'll show you the size balls of clay that we'll be using tonight. We're going to be using these are going to be for the legs and the feet, this size right here. The nose will be this size right here. And then for the small ears, we have this size right here. And then for the body, we'll be using this size right here. The first thing that I want to do is I'll put these down over here. We want to make the body. So that'll be from here overward. We're going to make like a little oval shape, and I'll show you how to do that. See that? And that's the shape that we want to make. I'm going to take this ball of clay here, and it's almost think of it like squeezing into like a potato-like shape. Just going to take and keep squeezing. And see that? We want to lengthen it out a little bit. Just like that. Lengthen it out. And then what I want to do is round out the head a little bit right here. See how I'm doing this? And then I'm going to squeeze around the edges here to kind of create the neck on the hedgehog. See how I'm doing that? See how the shape that we have right now? See how that's, and see how it kind of, I was squeezing the neck like that, and that'll be what the head will look like. The next thing that I want to do is we want to create the nose. So I'm going to take this ball of clay right here, and I'm going to put it on here, but I think I might take a little bit of this clay away. And we'll start off with a smaller nose. See this? I place this on here, and what I'm going to do is kind of make it into almost like a little point. See how I'm making that little point? Just like that. And then what I want to do is go around. See this how I'm working the snout into the face. Just like this. Just going to go all the way around and just work that in there like that. And what I want to do is I want to take and compare it to the previous one that I did. So to make sure they look similar. It looks like I can take some of that clay and add it back on the nose. So I'm going to take and add a little more clay to that area. See, I just put some clay. I attached it on that side. And then I'll take a little more clay here. I just wanted to add it back. And we kind of, see I'm working that. Just want to make that approximately the right size. Just work that in there like that. Go all the way around. So now what I want to do is I want to compare these again. See that? And then I'll show you, the next thing that we want to do is we want to make, we're going to take our tool here, the one that I usually show you that we sculpt out the eyes with, we're going to take the blunt end, and what I want to do is take and kind of push in the area where the eyes are going to be. See this right here? I'm pushing that in. Whoop. See that? See how we're doing that? Just like that. And then I'll show you, we'll do it to the other side. I'm going to work that. I want to get the right angle so you can see what I'm doing. Like that. And that's starting to shape up pretty good. The next thing that I want to do is make the ears. So I'm going to take these two pieces of clay here. I'm going to make sure that they're about approximately the same size. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take this and almost flatten it out. But then I also want to make almost like an upside down U. See that? That shape there? We'll take and we'll place this right about here. And then we'll just work it in. take your fingers and just kind of work all the way around. See how I'm taking and working that clay into the head. See that? Just like that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So I'm going to make that U shape again. See this? See that shape? We want that. I'm going to put that right about here. And what I'm going to do is see how I'm working that in like that. We want to make sure it's properly attached. So you go all the way around and work in that manner. So I'm just going to take. So I'll work those in. Then what I want to do is I want to scoop out the ears a little bit. So I'm going to take the tool here, the sculpting tool, and just kind of sculpt out a little of that clay. Just like that. See how that's starting to form up nicely? The next thing that I want to do is I want to take and make the eyes. So we're going to take some clay from over here, and I'm just going to take and make some very small balls of clay. I'll show you the size in a minute. Just want to make sure. I'll show you those in a minute. I just want to get approximately the same size before I okay, these are very, very tiny. See these here? Roll those into a little ball like that. We're going to use that for the eyes. I'm going to put it inside the socket. So I'll show you how we're going to do that. We're going to take this here, and I'm going to push it in right here. See that? And we'll do the same for the other side. But I'm looking at this, it looks like it's a little too big, so I'm going to take a little bit of the clay off. I'm going to make it just a little bit smaller. And that's approximately, looks like they're approximately the same size now. See how I just did that? It's pretty cool. And then what we also want to do is I want to make the mouth. So I'm going to take this toothpick here, and I'm just going to work it along the edge like this. See this? See that? And then we'll take, and I'm going to do the same on the other side. You know, I could even flip it upside down to do that. See this, how we're going to do this? Yep. And then what I want to do is I want to make into the nostrils. So I'll take this here, see how we put this in here? Just like that. Make a little hole on that side. And then we're going to make a hole on the other side. See that? And then what we're going to do is I'll just work it a little bit like that. And so see how that looks? Pretty cool. The next thing that we want to do is I want to take and make the small legs and feet. See these right here? I'm going to make that leg there, those two front legs, and then the two rear legs that are underneath. And I'll show you how we'll do that. We're going to take this ball of clay here, and I'm just going to roll up my hand like this, almost like into a little log shape. Like that. See that shape there? And then on the end, I'm just going to kind of pull out his little foot. See how I created that? You got that little foot. See it from the side, and then see it from that angle. What we're going to do now is we're going to place this on the bottom of the hedgehog. Excuse me. So see how I'm working this in. Just kind of work it all the way around. We got that attached. I'm going to take the other side and do the exact same thing, create another little log, like that. Then I'm going to take and place it on the other side. And in like what I did before, I'll create the little foot now. See, I'm taking that little foot, creating that little foot, and just working that in from both sides. And then what I'd like to do is I want to take and put these other two legs on the back, so make that little log shape again, like this. And then what we're going to do is just place it right about here. I'll show you. We're going to make it look like they're sitting on their little feet. And I'll make that other little log shape here. I'm going to place that on the other side. See, I'm placing that on the bottom like that. And what I want to do is I want to place him down on the desk to see if he's standing okay. And it appears that he is. What I want to do now is I want to make the little like toenails of the front of the feet. So you go 1, 2, 3. And we'll do the same thing on this side. 1, 2, 3. And then we'll do the same thing on the back. We'll do, I'll show you. So you go 1, 2, 3. And then we'll do the same on the other side. You go 1, 2, 3. See how that looks now with the little feet? Try to show you, turn it around so you can see it. And now we have the basic shape. The next thing that I want to do is what I'm going to do is put them down on the ground again, or the table. And now I'm going to pick them up, and I want to put like a little hole underneath here with a toothpick. That'll allow the gases to escape from the clay and it won't crack. But what we want to do now is we want to create the fur. So we're going to take this toothpick here, and we're going to rough everything up. See how I'm doing this? I'm going to rough it up nice like that. Just take and rough it up like that. I want to start on the bottom. See how we're gonna do the little face here. Gonna see how that I'm taking and roughing that up nicely. See how we're doing that? Making the fur. So we got the nose area. We're gonna take and rough that up a little bit, make that fur. Just like that. Then we're gonna go underneath and create that. But see, I'm just gonna take the toothpick and just short little strokes and kind of work that fur. And then we'll do the same thing. I'm gonna flip them over. See how we're doing that? And just kind of work it. Just like that. Just like that. Just work that. And then what I also want to do too is do the legs in the same manner, rough it up a little bit like that. And do both the feet that way and legs. And then we're going to do the entire body in that manner. So you take that, and just go like that. I'll just, so you can kind of just do that quickly. It has a very nice effect when you're doing this. Just just work it like that. Keep just going like that. Just like that. And you're going to go all down the side like that. Just like that. We're going to take and we're going to do the same thing on the back. See, I'm taking that. I want you to see what I'm doing there. Just kind of taking quick little strokes, just like that. Just kind of work it. And we're going to do the other side here. See how we're doing that? Quick little strokes, just like that. Just keep working it. Just like that. And then we'll work the very back the same way. Just like that. So we've done the entire hedgehog in this manner. So now I'll show you what he looks like. See that? We did a pretty nice job there. Get all the fur, and I'll just do a few more strokes back here. And now, as you can see, he's ready for baking in the oven. So the next step from here is to bake it in the oven at 275 degrees for about 15 or 20 minutes, and he'll be all set. And now that the hedgehog has been fired in the oven, it is now ready for painting, and I will show you the types of paint that we will use tonight. We have acrylic paints here, which can be bought in any art store, and there's about 18 in this package. We're going to be using the following colors. We're going to be using white, then we're going to be using black, we're going to be using tan, and we're going to be using the color gray. So there'll be 4 colors that we'll be using tonight. Put these aside. I'll show you the size brushes that we'll be using. We're going to be using this brush here. It's got a nice fine point for the eyes and the mouth. And then for the body, we're going to be using this size brush here. And then for some of the other smaller areas. I'm going to get a couple of smaller brushes for that. You can use that for like that brush, and I'll keep out that brush. So a total of 4 brushes. So the first thing that we want to do is we want to paint the underside of the hedgehog. I'm going to take this brush here, the wide one, and we'll just try to do a little paint the underside. See how we're doing that? Back and forth. And paint the feet. We try to get a little bit of the face. Get up in that area. And then, so we've got the underside pretty much done. The next thing that I want to do is I would probably paint the black eyes and the nose and the mouth. I'm going to take this now, and we're going to paint the nose black. See this little nose here? I'm going to paint that black. Just like that. See how we did that? And then I want to paint the eyes black. I'm going to paint those right here. Just like that. Just try to be careful. Just paint it slowly. Just see how we're just covering, doing the eyes. See how that looks? Looks really nice. And now I want to show you, we're going to do the little paws. See right here? We're just going to put a little black here. 1, 2, 3. See that? I'll try to 2, 3. And then we'll do the back. See this right here? Do 1, 2, 3. Those little lines that we had made into the, for the feet, that's where I'm painting the black. So paint the inside where those little lines were made. And now that's part is done. And the next part we want to do is we want to make the gray body. So on the nose, we'll just do a little bit of gray. Just touch a little gray here, a little gray on the side here. And we'll do a little bit of gray here. A little bit of gray up here. We're going to paint the ears. So we're doing that, just dab them. And now we'll paint, you want to paint the body like this, going back and forth. You're going to paint the entire body in that manner. See that, how we're doing that? You're going to paint the entire body, just hold back that way. Just like that. See how we're filling that area in nicely? See how we're doing that? Paint the backs of the ears. Just like that. And now I'll show you, we're going to blend the paint on the back a little bit. Dab the brush with the tan color a little bit. And now what we're going to do is you just kind of dab a little bit here and there. See how you're going to kind of do a little dab here and there. Just kind of little flicks. Just like that. Just like that. And then I'll show you, we'll also use little flicks of white. And now, kind of dab a little white here and there. See how we're doing that? And that's the way you'll paint it. You'll do the little flicks. And now I'm going to show you what the final painted version will look like, which is right here. We painted, of the hedgehog, the entire underside white. We painted the little claws or feet here with the black, where I had made those little indentations. You get the black nose. You also want the black mouth here, black eyes, and then you got the nice, you got a little bit of gray here on the snout. See how we had done that? Right there. A little gray in the face. We painted this all gray, and then we did the little flicks of tan, and then little flicks of white. So it looks pretty good once it's completed, and that's what the final version will look like. And I do hope that you enjoyed coming to Creations in Clay tonight, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. Goodbye for now.